Hi, I'm Whitney Stevens.
And I'm Yo-Yo Blackfire.
And this is Unstable. So jobs. I've had like 800 jobs.
She was like, I'm gonna start this out. So jobs.
Yeah.
Yes. Jobs.
Yes.
All kinds of jobs.
I've had so many.
Hand, blow, rim.
Right.
I give all kinds of jobs.
True. I wasn't really talking about those, but I also do those. Yeah.
Man, I wish I had thought ahead because I would have had us bring our resumes. I bet you have to update.
That would have been funny, but I would have to update mine and it would take like 9.5 hours.
I know what's on my resume, so let's start going through it. About how old were you when you started working?
I was 16.
16, back in your tiny little small town.
No, I had moved to the big
small town.
Big small town, yeah.
Right. So you weren't in the tiny small town, you were in the big small town.
Yes.
And so what was your first job?
I was a dishwasher and I delivered pizzas.
On a bike?
On a bike? No, I drove.
Is that rude? I was just curious. I don't know. I mean, literally.
At one point in my life, I drove. Yeah. I had.
Which is why at this point
I had a
in your
car.
life, you don't drive.
I had this really cute red Mustang that I had like Alteza taillights. You probably don't even know what that is because you're like 5.
A Mustang?
And like, no, the taillights, like Fast and Furious.
No, I don't.
Yeah, anyways. I had it like lowered with Alteza taillights and like a huge spoiler. Yeah, I was the shit.
So you were a delivery boy.
I was.
Did you have any fun, sexy fantasies as a delivery boy? Any interesting experiences doing that?
No, like there was one guy
Nobody
that
wants to fuck you.
Well, of course, but there was one guy that worked the front desk at like the Quality Inn in town, and like,
Right.
he definitely wanted to fuck me, but he was like 40 years old and I was 16, so creepy. But that's my story.
If you weren't a minor, I'd say that it's something you were into, but we do not condone
We do not
sexualizing
condone
children.
that. What was
at
your
all.
first job?
Honestly, besides like babysitting and whatever, my first real job was when I was like, just as I was graduating high school, I was hired at Chipotle. And it was like when Chipotle was in like their prime.
In their prime? Chipotle has a prime?
Yeah, because when I left, it was just after they like got a bunch of people sick a couple years ago. Remember there was the whole like, what was it, the E. coli outbreak?
Yeah.
They literally like killed a few people.
I shouldn't laugh about that, but yes, I remember.
It's true, I remember because I was working there.
Because you killed them. No, we should not say that. You did not.
No, I didn't.
You did not do that.
We didn't even have that kind of
You were
outbreak
not
here.
responsible.
But I worked at Chipotle and it was a really cool experience because I was like, I've always, like I said, we talked about that. I've always been me, and I've got high energy, and I'm a go-getter. But Chipotle had this thing where I actually have a tattoo on the bottom of my left foot. Is it my left foot or my right foot? I don't know. Left
Wait,
foot.
what?
I have a tattoo on the bottom of my foot. It's a 13.
I kind of remember this.
It's
yeah.
a 13, and it's because Chipotle's number was 13. It's like in the style of their font because they hire you based on these 13 characteristics.
You have a Chipotle tattoo.
Yes. It was my first job.
Oh
I thought I was going to be there
God.
until I became famous. And
You have a Chipotle tattoo.
on the bottom of my foot.
And you make fun of my really bad tribals.
I'm not the one who makes fun of your tribals.
I have terrible tribal tattoos, but you literally have a tattoo for Chipotle.
Yes.
That's questionable at best.
I know. But so I learned a lot of like business skills. I became a manager there. I helped run that restaurant. And that's kind of what I did until I started drag. I managed fast casual restaurants. I helped develop teams. I took care of cleanliness and all those things.
Your job history consists of Chipotle, getting a tattoo for them, and now we're here?
No, I also managed for Mod Pizza,
Okay.
Mad Greens, Cafe Rio.
Right.
Which is why the queso thing happened, because I was a manager there. And
I don't want to bring that up again.
Yeah. So literally, I was like a manager and like used to run stores and restaurants.
Wow.
And
Mine's
now
so
I'm
much
here.
more interesting than
Absolutely, you're like 376 years older than me.
It's true. Okay, you ready for this?
Okay,
This
let's
is
do
gonna
it.
take like 30 minutes to get through. All right, so pizza delivery boy.
Right.
Okay. Graduated high school, I moved to Seattle. I became an administrative assistant for a medical device company.
Okay.
Okay, I had that job for the entire time I lived there. Then I moved down here. I worked for General Mills, like the cereal,
Right, I knew that you worked for General
the
Mills.
cereal company. Yeah.
Because your favorite serial's monogamy.
Right. I was a staff assistant for them for
She gave a lot of staff
a long
infections
time.
to a lot of the assistants while she was
Yes.
there.
And my goal was to become a personal assistant, which I did.
You basically are.
I was a personal assistant to a former NFL player for 2 years in Scottsdale.
Say his name. Say his name.
I can't actually say his name. I actually legally can't.
We believe in NDAs here.
So I did that. That was probably one of the craziest, most terrible jobs I ever had, by the way.
Yeah, I can imagine that working as someone's close personal assistant, you are subject to. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Kardashians. Like, I watch that show a lot. And but like, even just like the idea, like, you are their personal assistant. You are subject to their mood swings and their BS and their needs, and you're supposed to anticipate what they want and need, and then you're supposed to listen to them, but do what's.
I literally did everything for them, and then like on my days off, like if he couldn't get a hold of me, he'd start calling my ex-husband, like, and tried like, why isn't Rodney responding? Rodney is my real name, by the way. And it would be like, he's off today. It was a crazy experience. So like, I would get paid, like, I would just stand next to him at clubs. Like, I wasn't even working. I was just there.
So you have a long history actually of working in nightclubs.
I guess, yeah.
Which I guess technically started when you were this guy's assistant.
I mean, yeah.
Because then I know that you were also a promoter.
I promoted for Forbidden with my ex, yeah.
And you obviously have performed in nightclubs and bars.
Once or twice.
You've also worked behind the bar.
I have.
As a server and a bartender.
Yes.
And you've done like managers type stuff as well.
I was a
right?
food and beverage manager for an event space here in Phoenix, yes.
Okay.
Which I worked like 12, 14 hours a day every single day during that time period.
And still you found time to be a sex worker.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's real work, and
Yeah.
I mean that's probably aside from drag, that's like the one thing on our resume.
My parents
we have
are gonna watch this episode, and yes, I have been paid for
dad
sex.
too.
Yeah,
but my dad knows about it.
Oh, my parents don't, but now
My
they
dad
do.
knows about it. I'm very open. But yeah.
Times have gotten tough a couple times.
Sometimes sex work wasn't about times being tough.
No, it was for me.
Okay, I respect that, but I just think that's an important. Like, I want to put it out there.
Oh,
like,
I don't have anything
Sex
against
work does
it at
not
all,
necessarily
obviously.
mean that someone is desperate or
No,
that
it
something
was
happens.
personally for me.
Yeah,
that was the
that
situation.
was 100%. Like, for me, like the first time I did sex work was someone literally messaged me on Grindr and was like, "I will pay you $100 to suck your dick."
Right.
And I was 18. I was working at Chipotle, and I was like, "Bitch, I want my dick sucked, and I want money. So hello."
Right. I mean, that's not a bad scenario.
Yeah, and that's basically like, my prices have gone up.
Well, and I've also had like a lot of mine has like been the easy, like if people just want to like look at my legs or something.
I would say, and we're gonna get into this in another topic soon, but you as a sex worker catered to a lot of fetish work.
Yes.
Whereas I was kind of just like vanilla sex work, like suck my dick, maybe I'll fuck you.
Right. No.
Nothing too crazy.
Mine was just like, literally someone like looked at my legs and like jacked off.
So
And,
and
they paid me like $150 for that. I'm like, I just sit in a chair. This is great.
So, do you feel that because you have had so many jobs in your past, that you are entitled to being a professional not worker now? Because I have known you for a couple years now.
Yeah.
And, I mean, technically you worked at Volt when I met you, but I don't think you can call that work because you never got paid.
Okay, I did get paid occasionally.
Under the table.
No, okay, that's a whole different topic.
I'm not calling it out, I'm just saying I don't count that as a job.
All right, that's fair.
Also, I mean, you were just drunk all the time.
I mean, I'm drunk all the time still.
And you don't go to work. Well,
Yeah.
we're here. You're here now. Congratulations, everybody!
Thank you.
Whitney showed up to work today. I actually showed up to her house, made sure she woke up and ate and got ready. But
I mean, I am a professional at not working, I guess.
you are. Someone actually, I remember this vividly because it wasn't too long ago, but you told someone that you're a Cancer and they said, "Oh, you're really good at not working."
They did say that.
And we looked at each other and we just busted out laughing.
Yeah, but like, I'm never pure.
You're You're never pure? Oh, you're never pure?
I mean, I always find ways to make things
You
happen.
always find a way to not be pure?
I hate
To not
you.
be pure? Okay, so what did you want to be when you grew up?
This is actually a funny story, and I just remember this right now. I always said I wanted to be a veterinarian or a feather duster. When I was little.
Like from Beauty and the Beast? Is that why you're dressed like this? Is that why you're dressed like this?
Maybe subconsciously I dressed like this, but yeah, like I really was obsessed with like going around and dusting things.
You still are.
I know. But I literally, when people asked me that when I was little, I said I want to be a veterinarian or a feather duster. And my family will back this up. That was my answer, which is ridiculous.
I'm gonna use that as like a term, not like a slur, but like as a term for you. Oh, she's a feather duster. Is she a feather duster?
She's a little
feather duster.
Yeah,
she's a feather duster.
That could be a thing.
Hashtag feather duster.
What was yours?
I mean, I've always wanted to be a singer. I've always wanted to just be a creative and put out art and make music and connect with people and perform. So, I mean, I'm kind of like.
So you're living your dream?
This is the dream, baby! Sitting on a toilet!
Here I am, not a veterinarian and also not a feather duster, so.
Well, you are a feather duster.
Yeah, I like that.
No, I am. I mean, yes, I've always like known what I want to do, and like I'm one of those people that's just like refused to like accept that it's not a possibility.
That's very you, yeah.
That's how I ended up in drag, which I mean is like part of my job right now. I mean, I would consider drag is certainly work.
Yeah.
It is work, it is energy. We talked about it on our International Drag Day episode, but even just like even this venture, right? This is like a new like step in making this my job and my career. And
drag is not fun. We love it, but it's not fun.
We love it, but it's hard work. We put work into it. There is a vision, there is work that has to be put in for execution, and then there's delivery, like we've discussed before.
Which we don't ever.
Well,
deliver.
Yeah, it's more like DiGiorno.
No, but I think when I speaking on like drag being a career, when I first started, it was all about like fun and like feeling the fantasy, right? And then once you start, like, your goal, at least my goal was to, like, I want to be performing because I love to perform. And then you start performing more and more and more, and it gets to a point where it's like, it kind of takes over. You lose your name. Like, no one knows my real name anymore, which is funny because it's like, I had that name for 30 years, and now all of a sudden no one knows it.
That is true. I recall an era where you were actually adamant about like your actual friends using your name out of drag so that you could have that validation of like existence.
I really don't care, honestly.
Oh, no. I would say that you prefer to go by Whitney nowadays.
Yeah. I actually had a moment where I thought about just legally changing my name to Whitney.
Well, you already got rid of the only good name you've ever had, so you might as well.
Oh my God, let's not do that, please.
Since this is where we're at right now, would you say that this is the career that you'd like to continue to develop?
It depends. Do I have to do it with you?
Yeah.
Oh. No, I think so. Yeah, like I love drag. I love performing. I will openly admit that I complain about it a lot because like it is a lot of work and like sometimes it's not so lucrative, but
it is certainly something that takes a lot of investing in. I mean, but I think that applies to starting any kind of business or any kind of job you're doing.
Right.
It takes investment, whether it's learning the trade, whether it's developing a clientele or developing your skills. There's certainly monetary investment in starting something up. I mean, whether it's equipment you need, whether it's paying people to help you accomplish the things that you're trying to produce, whether it's hiring people or...
Drag is very like feast or famine though. Like there's weeks where like you'll do 4 shows and like you're exhausted and like you make a lot of money and then you'll go through a period of time where no one gives a shit about you.
My whole career. I thought you were gonna say you don't get booked. I was like, my entire calendar empty. Yes, but I will say this, that I may not be someone that is like just like slap-handed a bunch of opportunities, but I am certainly not shy of a challenge, and I will create opportunities.
You create opportunities,
and,
for sure.
That is something I take a lot of pride in. This is obviously, being creative is my passion and my career, and I mean, I'm excited that we're at a place right now where we are able to take what we love to do and make it our job, and also have that job, like in terms of this podcast at least, be something that's helping develop us in our personal lives as people.
Absolutely.
So I mean, that's a really cool opportunity. I mean, even right now, like my day job is working as a server and a tender over at Industry here in Phoenix. And I mean, like, sure, any job can be sucky, but like, how lucky am I to be 25 and my day job is working in a queer POC, locally owned small business that is a safe space that I can also then like develop my brand in and have opportunities to host events and meet people and network.
100%.
So I mean, I think that, I mean, when it comes to work, I will say this, I had a stepmonster who once said she was very, very well off. So obviously I tried to like her.
Okay.
But she said, yo, this is usually how it works in life. When you're working, you're not supposed to be having fun. Sometimes you're gonna have a job where you have a good time. A lot of the time when you're in a job for a while, you figure out how to make it be a good time.
Right.
But when you're working, you're making money and it's not meant to be fun. But when you're out and you're having fun, a lot of the time you're gonna be spending that money. And that is often the difference between work and fun.
I will say that you absolutely, like, you go and, like, you say you're gonna do something, it's going to happen. And, like, I'm super grateful for that, because I probably wouldn't be here, because that's not really, I am, like, the biggest doubter of myself. So, like, our relationship's been great in the fact that you're like, we're doing this, like, this is happening, and like sometimes you have to drag me by my wig kicking and screaming.
That's why our wigs look like this.
And then I'm like super happy afterwards, because I'm like, I feel very accomplished about that. But I will say that is very much your nature and your personality to be like, I'm doing this, and like no one can tell you that it's not gonna happen, which is a very admirable quality, and that's the only nice thing I'm gonna say to you all day long.
Thank you. So no matter where life takes you and what you find yourself doing, find a little time for fun, and remember to appreciate the hard work that you put in, and take a second to smell the fruits of your labor. Juice the fruits of your labor?
I don't know, I don't.
Smell the roses?
I'm trying not to smell you right now, so.
I smell a lot better than I have before, and thank goodness your gloves are not present.
Oh, here we go.
I'm really grateful that this is currently my job. I look forward to developing this career. I'm grateful for the many connections that I have that help feed this moment. I mean, like we said, this is my dream, and so to be able to say, like, to have that kind of realization right here, like on camera, on the microphone with you guys, that like, this is what I've always wanted to do, and this is what I'm doing, and to hear you validate the work that I put in and how much I care about what I do and the pride I take is something I'm very, very grateful for.
I get to experience your dream with you and make it my dream as well.
Thank you for being a part of my dream. All of you guys listening, thank you so much for being a part of my dream. We will be here next week. My name is Yo-Yo Blackfire.
And I'm Whitney Stevens.
And this is Unstable.